Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Today I want to talk about net worth, and I really do want to get back into the concept of talking about financial freedom. In order to identify what it will take to retire, we need to know how much we are currently worth. This is the third time I'm recording this video because the first couple of times the sound wasn't great, so I'm hoping my mic is doing all the tricks. Testing 1 2 1 2. I've always wanted to do that. Like I was saying, I want to get back into talking about financial freedom. In order to identify what it will take to retire, we need to know how much we are currently worth. This will then allow us to figure out how much we need. So technically, trying to figure out what salary you'll be comfortable with once you reach retirement. And whatever number that is, it will give you an indication of how you should set your goals. The good old goals. How much you can save and invest, and as a result, how many years it will take you to earn that number. Your net worth is a difference between your assets and your liabilities. Assets are things you own, so that could be your cash, your home, your car. And then going into a little bit more detail, liabilities are any kind of debt. So your net worth is the most important number for you to track on a regular basis. But how do you do it? I don't know what it is, but my partner and I are a little bit geeky when it comes to life numbers. We were on a breakaway in Paris and we ended up spending the entire afternoon setting up a personal budget system back in February. And it has evolved ever since. Back in February, when we could travel freely without worrying about Corona, when the whole Corona thing hadn't bubbled up here in London just yet. February, wow, it was a lifetime ago. So anyway, we ended up spending an entire afternoon developing this budgeting system, which worked really well. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, we use a software called YNAB, but there are lots of platforms out there. You can even use simple Excel sheets to do it if you like, or not. And I know some people say that, oh, they feel super restricted with a budget, but that's not how it should work. You budget everything in your life so you don't have restrictions. So on our budget, typically we have our current accounts, credit cards, and we track spending versus the budget. Then we have a separate category on investments, houses, mortgages, direct loans, which are also an asset, and I'll explain why shortly. So if you start off by putting all of these current values into your budgeting platform or Excel sheet, you'll end up with a real-time view of what your net worth actually is. And we found that tracking your net worth can get quite addictive because you see the numbers change every month. And if you are one of those people that ignore your money, then you're wasting time building wealth. That's just a fact of life. Thinking about assets in a little bit more detail, then once you get your brain working in this way, things will come to you naturally. For example, and some of you may be able to relate here, if like me you started your own company and took on those personal costs yourself as a director for those startup costs, then these funds, they can be characterized as direct loans. And technically the sum that I've invested into the company is an asset for me because the company still owes that to me even though I'm a director. As a director, the company will eventually pay you back when it's profitable, as it will want to pay down its loan. You can go on to subdivide these into two. The easiest is your current assets. So this is all the money that is cash and that's sitting in your account. And another point, try and hold as little cash as possible anyway, and that might be a good time to link in my budgeting video. And personally, dematerializing it makes it easier to invest anyway. So use budgets to control your current assets. Make a list of everything that you actually own. Then do the same thing with your liabilities. All the loans that you need to pay back, credit cards, bank loans, mortgages, and don't be shy, just be honest with yourself. Make a note of the interest rates for each of these and be transparent. There's always a way out no matter what the debt is. Then that important calculation of assets, so everything that you own minus liabilities, everything that you owe. Once you do that calculation, that will give you a net worth. So assets minus liabilities equals your net worth, and that can be a negative value, and that's completely fine. Then if you have found your number, now you know how close you are to it. I did create a short video when I was a super newbie, like my first month, a couple of months ago, on how you can find your magic number, and that's the amount you need to retire, and I'll try and link down the description box. So now remember what that number is and know that this is your target to reach in order to retire. It may feel like that this is the same as net worth, but it's not really. Your number is essentially the amount you have invested to cover your expenses. So your net worth can be greater than your number, which is what you've achieved, as it will include assets that don't generate an income too. And those assets that don't generate an income home, is there any way that you can switch them to create an income generating asset? So for example, if you own your home, do you have any spare bedrooms that you can rent out to a lodger? Is that something that you'd be okay with? Say for example, you have a retirement income of 70k per annum to be free in your mind. So 70k times 25 is about 1.7 million. The reason we multiply it by 25 is because that's the theory that we use to find your number based on the Trinity study. Just go and watch that other video if you want. So if you manage to increase the amount you earn, say from renting one room in your home at, say, I don't know, £10,000 per annum, all of a sudden need 60k per annum from your investments at a 4% drawdown rate. So 60k all of a sudden times 25 is now 1.5 million. And so that's decreased by £250,000, and that's the power of recurring revenue. Now I do know that you might need to think that through a couple of times, but my video on finding a number should really help with getting your head around the concept. It's genius! There you go, that was just a short and sweet one for you. Until next time, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and also what are your plans for retirement. Cheers guys, bye.